welcome to another episode of Cape Rugby TV. It's Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock, and of course we bring you the very best of Western Province Club Rugby in and around Cape Town. And yeah, it is getting to that time of the season now that everybody wants to know who's going up, who's going down. We're getting to the final kind of leg of the action, and to tell me more about that, I've brought in the heavyweights of Western Province Rugby. In the super heavyweight division, we'll start off with Morgan Newman. Hello, Morgan.
How's it, James? How's it going?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Had a like an action-packed weekend at Rangers, and then raced off to Newlands. So it was a good rugby weekend.
Yeah, no, it was good. And on Sunday, I was very closely looking at logs and leagues and results. And yeah, it's the permutations are endless. So looking forward to the rest of the show.
Oh, it's tight. It's tight. Riaz Khan, we were talking about this last week.
Yeah.
It's down to the wire.
Business end of the competition now.
Yeah.
Very, very tight. Up and down. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, of course, it is getting a kind of technical, and there's a lot happening at Western Province that we haven't really dug into. There's the top 8, the bottom, and the top 9 and the bottom 8. In the Paarl region, we've got the top 6 and the bottom 6. And now we're getting into the leagues where there's going to be the knockout tournaments, and there's going to be the President's Cup and the Challenge and etc. So anyway, what we did was we brought in the league expert himself, Faisal Felton. Hello, Faisal.
Good evening, JP.
Nice to have you back.
It's good to be back.
I think a lot of people are going to be really interested to hear what you have to say, because we're in that space now. We were talking about this now, about who goes up and who goes down, and there's still so many questions. It's the first year of a new tournament. There's an excitement factor that is built up into the world of club rugby now, and I'm looking forward to talking to you about the next phase now, because we got through the league phase almost now.
Yeah. I think it's quite exciting, and it's all boiling down now to the last couple of the last match at least. And from there, I think people have been uncertain as to the next phase in terms of what happens in the next phase and that. Yeah. So I think it'll be good to chat about it and get a bit more clarity out there.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to dig right into it tonight. It's going to be so, folks. We're not going to be dwelling too much on different fixtures and logs, because we really want to explain the new format to you when we look at the fact that there's now 15 teams in the Super League A, B, and C. There's the Northern, Southern, and City leagues, and of course various permutations within those league structures. So we're looking forward to that. Let's first look at the results, though, over the weekend, because without these results, we wouldn't actually know who is going up or who's going down and why exactly it's so tight. Hamilton's there, of course, beating Tygerberg 45-19. Falls Bay drilling Belleville 68-0. Vix 20-71 loss for them against UCT. SK Warmers going down to Durban 68 points to 5. And Helderberg 8-6 over UWC. Belhar 53-32 over NNK. And Primrose losing to Stellenbosch 50 points to 10. All right, let's start at the beginning there. Morgs, we'll start with you. Although you're a Cape Rugby TV neutral, you were at the game. You coincidentally happened to be on the field at the same time. Good win for Tygerberg, but I believe it wasn't as easy as what has looked on score.
Yeah, good win for Hamilton's. Just to correct you there, but no, look, I mean, it was
I'm going to live this down. I don't know how long it's going to take, but yeah. Okay.
Friday night, good game. I thought Hamilton started very well, and put some good points on the board. But in the second half, Tygerberg really came back and scored some good tries, and almost got themselves back in the game. But then Hamilton's ran away with it in the end. So good result for Hamilton's. Although, as we all know now, at this stage of the season, Hamilton's can't win the league anymore. So still looking to just put a good performance.
Let's revert to the expert here, Faisal. Hamilton's, they can't win the league anymore.
Hamilton's sitting on 56 points, so they can't win the league. Yeah. But I think obviously this weekend we'll see the big game between Hammies and Marties, which basically determines Marties have to win the game in order to win the league. You've got UCT.
So there's still a couple of bit of the mix, but Hamilton's out of the picture.
Hamilton's out of the picture.
Okay, sorry, Morgs, it's been confirmed. You are definitely out of the picture.
Yeah, we were aware of that about a week ago. Unfortunately, we were aware of that because we keep a close eye on it. But we still have a say in what happens in the league. So we still want to go out there and we want to go and win. But again,
what kind of say is it that you'd like to actually have?
To be honest with you, I'm not really phased.
On Saturday?
We're playing Stellenbosch on Saturday, and I've had Kevin Musicanth in the one ear, hoping that we coach of UCT.
And all your Stellenbosch cronies on the other side.
And all my Stellenbosch cronies saying, so look, to be honest, we just want to put in a good performance and play good rugby. And having said that, if you look at going forward, it also, if we win, we also will end third, and then it also depends on that will determine who we play in the President's Cup competition. Because
Okay,
obviously,
well,
as we know, three plays 6.
we're going to get into the President's Cup in a second, but of course that does guarantee you already the fact that you'll play in the Community Cup.
Yeah, we've
correct?
been guaranteed to play Community Cup because Durbanville can't catch us anymore.
All right, so let's just stop there. Faisal, just quickly, in terms of Super League A, from maybe you can just give us some more insight into that. Who in Super League A goes to play in the 2015 Community Cup?
It's obviously the top-ranking non-university team,
Yeah.
which obviously would be Hamilton's in that.
Okay. Is there a second team that goes through as well to the Community Cup?
There's no second team in that there.
So there's only one team from
only
Western
one team,
Province
yeah,
who
from
plays in the
Western
Community
Province
Cup.
and
So
No,
what? Where was the
play
there was a rumor floating about that there would be a knockout thing or the wild card scenario. Does that not exist anymore?
2 years ago.
That was the wild
Yeah,
card.
2 years ago we had Scottish Performance
Okay,
going.
fine,
Yeah.
let's just get, you guys.
Look, I
Can you
think
guys just stay
there
in the
is
pond? We
like-
talk.
Yeah. Look, there is rumours of there being a playoff between a team from Province and a team from Boland.
Okay.
So it's still to be obviously confirmed.
So that's not fixed for a fact yet.
No, nothing
All
from
right.
my side.
Okay. And okay, we can take that to the bank. It's not confirmed. We wait for SA Rugby to make an official statement.
Correct.
Okay, it's always about the official statement. All right, so Morgan, at this stage, it looks like you guys, until there's an official statement, Hamilton's will be the only representative.
Yes, until further say, we are under the understanding that there will be another team from the southern region, which will be us or Boland.
But we walked this road last year where there was the wild card and it was guaranteed, and then they pulled the plug, and everybody said it was going to be Tygerberg and then or SK Warmers. And then the whole thing changed and we had to wait for the official statement. Okay, folks, there you have it. Okay, just in terms of the Community Cup next year, it is not in the bag just yet. We have to wait for the official version and we will bring it to you here on Cape Rugby TV and tell you what that is. Okay, now the next phase, and I think we're going to get into this, and Faisal, I want to talk to you about this before I continue with the results here, is the top 6. From what we understand, are now going into this President's Cup tournament. So out of the 15 top players of Super League A, Super League B and Super League C, the top 6 of all of those teams will compete against each other.
Correct, yeah. So obviously the Super A, the top 6 clubs in that league will compete against each other in the same format similar to the Super 15. Okay. So you'll have teams heading in position 1 and 2.
So you've got 18 teams will be competing in the President's Cup.
You've got
6 times 3.
No. Then they're competing in the President's Cup, obviously each in their own division. So Super League A. So it's not a combined division.
Explain it to us a little bit.
It's not a combined division. It's basically your Super A will compete. The top 6 clubs will compete against each other. So 1 and 2 will automatically win. Qualify to play in the semi-final, and 3 will play against 6. 4 will play against 5.
And that's within Super League A.
That's within Super League A.
And then within Super League B, like you said,
Same
1
format.
and 2, 3 and 4.
Correct.
5 and 6 will play against each other.
Correct.
So they will immediately start off with 3 fixtures in Super League A, 3 fixtures in Super League B, 3 fixtures in Super League C, according to the numbers you've just said.
Correct, yeah.
One plays 2.
No,
Yeah.
3.
No.
2 fixtures.
There's 2 fixtures.
Two fixtures?
So 2 fixtures, 1 and 2 automatically proceed to the semi-final.
So they don't have to have any.
They don't have to have any
okay.
game. So 3 will play against 6, and 4 will play against 5.
Okay.
The winner of those 2 matches will play against 1 and 2.
All right. So
Much like the Super 15.
so it's 2 fixtures for 4 teams in Super League A, Super League B, Super League C.
Correct.
First and second in Super League A, Super League B, and Super League C in the top 6 will automatically go into the semi-finals.
Semi-finals, that's right.
All right,
And I think what's
okay.
also important to note is that it's just the first teams playing and your under-20s that will be playing.
The under-20s playing as well. I don't think a lot of people realise that, yeah.
So it's just your first teams and your under-20s.
Okay.
Under-20s will also be playing same format.
All right, okay. Yeah. Now, what happens to the teams that are from position 7 down to position 15?
Okay, they will be playing in a top 8 competition.
So that's called the top 8.
We call it a top 8. Okay. That is basically a knockout competition. So in other words, teams from position 7 to 14, they will play in the top 8. And then the number 15 will play against our PAL region, the PAL region, and the PAL region teams ending 1, 2, and 3.
All right.
So
let's also ask you this before we carry on with the rest of the results. This President's Cup, for example, a lot of questions we had for the winners of the President's Cup, is there prize money?
So there is some prize money. We are, we have secured some sponsorship in that there. So, there will definitely.
So there'll be a little bit of
there will be some sort of, there will be definitely be incentive for them. And I think what's also great about the competition is that, the finals will be taking place at Newlands. So we will be having the winners of Super A, B and C playing at Newlands, plus the winners of the Super A under-20s finals playing at Newlands.
Well, that Morgs?
I want to ask what happens to the second team, third team, and the seconds and third teams once the President's Cup starts?
It's only your first teams that are playing. So what we've agreed on is that only the first teams playing. Obviously, the squads and that need to be discussed in terms of giving your other players within the club also the opportunity and that. But I think the whole idea is that we just have the one team playing and we're playing at one venue.
And the coaches are able to pick then from second team, third team. We can have a big squad of your whole.
Is that a fact? You can play anybody you want. And I think this is exactly what we were talking about how coaches would have to be smart. Because they would want their second team players to stick around and their third team players. This is what we were talking about. If you're a coach, you better be now thinking about creating that gees, making sure that your second team guys are there, coming to practice still and backing up. So you've got a bit of depth, because we were worried about the fact that come the end of the league, the players are finishing up and they're going home.
Yeah, well, I mean, like we discussed on many shows previously, I mean, your first team strength only lies in your second and third team, and the amount of pressure that's being placed on them, and like we discussed about contact sessions, really knowing. So unless you have a second team that is actually vying for a place, the first team folks might just get complacent.
But there's nothing, of course, to stop Faisal, there's nothing to stop a player at this stage of the league saying, right, my season is finished and I'm going to pack it up for the year. So it really is in the hands of the first team coach to make sure that they create some sort of excitement, some sort of gees. I mean, Riaz, you'll agree with me that's where the coaches have to think a bit deeper.
I think it goes a bit further than that as well. In the past, we used to have clubs playing on a Wednesday evening and being supported by the second team and third team years back in a competition. And it's the similar thing now. You support your first team on a Saturday, you wait for that match on a Saturday, you play third team, but you wait on the sidelines to watch your first team play. It's the same type of thing. Your club can get a lot of support now from the players who don't play, but it's also a breeding ground for them to be able to insert the third team and second team players into the first team squad as well, in order to blood them as well for the future.
All right, let's quickly go back to the logs there in Super League A. Let's just finish up there. As we said, Vix going down to UCT, SK Warmers going down to Durban, UWSC, it was a loss for them, so rather sad. And then Belhar beating NNK 53 points at 32, and Primrose losing to Stellenbosch. Okay, how much of an impact does that make for? We spoke about this. Let's just talk about Primrose. Riaz, a little bit of a rough game for them, but it was only a 40-point margin. I was expecting that mentally it might have been a bit tough for them.
I think I mentioned last week that this is actually brilliant for them because they're safe, they can't go down, they can't be relegated anymore. So now they're building for next year. And the exposure to play against those teams, UCT, Stellenbosch, Hamiltons, that experience is invaluable moving forward for a club like them.
Yeah. Let's move to the results now in Super League B. Well, it was a win for Villages over Peniel Villages. Very close, 7 points to 5. And I think this was also one of those table clashes. Riaz will tell us more about that in a sec. Union Mill 34-3 over Kraaifontein. Rangers going down to Collegians. Well, that was our pick of the weekend, and we'll catch up with that in a second. Scottsdene going down to St. George's, 60 points to 15. Silurians beating Goodwood. Macassar beating Hamlets. And then Young People's 32-29 over Brackenfell. All right, let's take a look at that. Riaz, you're the sort of the permutation expert here. Villages beating Peniel Villages 7 points to 5. How important was that game?
Very important. Villages was on a kind of a slippery slope. They lost 2 games. They needed to consolidate again. So this win for them in the dying minutes was very, very important. Yeah. They managed to win this on the nippertjies.
Okay, but why was it so important?
Well, obviously they were unbeaten for most of the season. They were looking to actually win the league, and now it puts them back into contention to come back up and try and do something on the last weekend.
Yeah, as we spoke last week, if Villages lost that game, they would end up in 4th place, and it doesn't give them a chance to even come into Super League A. And because obviously, as we know, the outside 3 can't come up. So it's a massive result for Villages. I mean, it's as we spoke last week, as Lyndon said, Villages are one of the teams that we all expected, or actually in Super League A, when the chat in Super League A was expecting Villages to be back there next year. So
where I think they slipped up? They slipped up in their match against Kraaifontein. That was the if I'm You know, we look at these Super 15 games and we say, oh, if that was the one bonus point 6 games back, that if you had that bonus point, that was probably the game that they slipped up.
I think the game that they really, thought they had in the bag was the game against Hamlets. And Hamlets actually, outdid them. And I always say to the guys, it's always tough, especially playing Hamlets at home. And yeah, so I mean, Hamlets being at the bottom of the log, fighting for survival, they managed to pull up a win there, which basically gave them, breath of, breather in it.
And the other thing about Hamlets, they're up on the west coast, so there's not so many spies,
And villages haven't.
You moet by helse pad trek,
going
as jy daar wil gaan spy. No, so listen, it's a little bit far to travel up the west coast now, unless you're going for a weekend at Club Mykonos.
I spoke to some of the guys at villages, and they mentioned the fact that they hadn't played some of these clubs before, and it was a brand new experience for them. So I mean, if you haven't been to Hamlets to play there, that can be very daunting if you haven't been there before.
And and with Gavin Passons there, that back line of Hamlets is a dangerous, dangerous outfit.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. All right, folks. So the game that we went to over the weekend, and my greatest disappointment was the fact that I wasn't able to stay for the butter chicken because I had to race back to New Orleans to go and catch up with some of the guys on the field there. Unfortunately, we have to do something to earn a living. But it was back to New Orleans after the game. And it was really special. It was Rangers against Collegians. And now the beauty of the fact that we got to this field, and I mean, this was your true derby match. You get the field and there's just absolutely hundreds and hundreds of people, if not thousands of people around the side of the field. Again, it was really well organized. There was fencing all around the field. The guys had their buckies parked up there. So we were able to actually get the camera onto the bucky to try and get a little bit of a different angle. The fans were out there in their droves having a really good time. And absolutely no problems on the field. A little bit of pushing and shoving, but, really a good, clean game. The highlights then, Rangers against Collegians. Let's catch up with that. It was a really great game, I must say. In the first half, though, you'd be in a situation that Riaz, phase in the first half, we get into that situation that Rangers was actually dominating up front, and it really looked like they were pushing Collegians off the ball in the first half. They were controlling up front, and I think Baba Muratu's, of course, he's doing a really good job, and they were really dominating, but. In the second half, it just turned Collegians, just kind of regathered themselves and turned it on the head.
Yeah, I think, from playing against Collegians all the years and that, Collegians is a side that plays with passion. I mean, you know, when you play against Collegians, you play for a full 80 minutes. Those guys are very passionate in that, and they've got a lot of heart in that there, and they will come at you. So, you know, if you lose focus on that there, you're in for a hard time in that there. So.
Yeah, I tell you something, if you lose focus there, you might be in a hard time for the aunties on the side of the field as well. I got to say hello to Rosa. Rosa, hoe gaan met jou, my madam? It was fantastic having you there on the side of the field looking after me. I was under special protection, really.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I was under special, but we were sitting on the bucky together and we were filming the game, and it was a real joy. It was really good. And then, of course, special mention to Yasmina from Hamadias as well. By the way, guys, there you still see the Hamadias jersey. We continue to get sponsorship for Club Rugby. Rentec, of course, last year or last week at least, getting their sponsored jersey, and I believe Northerns at Avonwood with Abraham Fredericks has also now landed for themselves a sponsorship, and they will be handing that jersey out come tomorrow night on the side of the field, sponsor for next year. So congratulations, Northerns, you guys have also done a fantastic job, and we look forward to showcasing your new sponsor and your jersey as well right here on the Cape Rugby TV show. So Abraham, you and your guys have done a fantastic job at Northerns to work on getting a sponsor and getting jerseys for your team, and hopefully we can get a camera out there to catch some of those highlights. Let's catch up now with the captain of Ranger, Salih Arendse. Folks, with the captain of Rangers now, Salih Arendse, leading from the front. Salih, didn't go your way, but still a lucky game.
Yeah, we were hoping for a better outcome, but given the circumstances and the way the teams played today, I guess that will determine the outcome. So big up to Collegians, and back to the drawbridge for us.
It was a typical derby match. I mean, you guys were dominating up front there. Just let it slip a little bit, but still a interesting challenge.
Yeah, we do tend to play a similar type of style of rugby, running rugby, but I guess I don't really know what much to say, but
it's a derby. What can one say? It's just how it goes.
It's a hard game.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, Salih, good game. Nice to watch. Nice to have the fans out here.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks to everybody for coming.
There we go, yeah. It didn't go the way that Rangers would have liked to on the day. Of course, a derby match, the guys were well prepared for the game, but it just didn't go their way. We, of course, managed to catch up with the man who's doing really great work there, and I was privileged enough to join him on Wednesday, well, just before the show last week, as Groote Schuur were preparing for their derby match against Camps Bay. Fantastic to see how many kids actually watch the show and are from the club rugby origins as they ply their trade now at Groote Schuur, and Baba Murat there with the academy, and they've got a lot of different teams from rugby to hockey to soccer to cricket and so on, doing a really good thing there, and getting myself and the MEC of sport and culture out to come and speak to the kids. So Baba, you've done a fantastic job. But anyway, let's catch up now with Ibrahim Murat, the coach of Rangers. Right, folks, a big derby match here. Of course, Rangers up against Collegians today at Surrey Estate, and as promised, we came out to check out what was, as expected, a monster match. With me is Ibrahim Murat, no stranger to Cape Rugby TV. Ebby, it didn't go your way today.
Yeah, JP, thanks. As you said, it didn't go our way. Derby matches are always, it doesn't matter what the form of the league has been, it's on the day, and I think Collegians pitched up on the day. They wanted it more, and they deserve the win, so well done to them.
I was watching in the first half, and I really thought you guys were dominating up front. You managed to push them off the ball quite a lot, and I didn't think Collegians was running the ball wide much, and I thought they could have. That changed in the second half, but clearly there was a bit of a shift in the front.
Yeah, look, JP, we pride ourselves on playing an attacking brand. We didn't manage to do that today, of course, not winning your set pieces. We didn't really give ourselves an opportunity to play the game, but take nothing away from Collegians. I think they used the opportunities that they did have. We had the impetus initially, but we let it slip, and as you see, they walked away with a win today.
And quickly before you go, today was a big derby, Groote Schuur against Camps Bay. You've got to tell us how that went.
It's not every day that you lose two derbies on the same day, but
that's hard.
There's always next year, eh?
But listen, I was there with you guys on Wednesday night, and it was incredible time at Groote Schuur. You're doing a good job there.
Thanks a lot, JP. Yeah, it was a big day for us. Of course, the focus is slightly different for the ski. We've got 6, 7 or 8 sports codes.
Yeah.
But on the day, you know, that's what it's about. You know, for this morning it was about our school community, and this afternoon was the community of Surrey Estate and Mitchell's Plain. So it's great to see all the people that came out, and thanks to our supporters and all the collegiate supporters for contributing to a fantastic day.
No, it was a good day. Yeah. So many people.
Yeah.
Anyway, didn't go your way, but still perfect day.
Thanks a lot, JP.
Okay.
Thanks for coming out as well.
So fantastic initiative there from Ebra Murat, didn't go their way. Let's catch up now with the coach of Collegians, of course, coach and a manager at Collegians, Hussein, of course, a very happy coach manager on the day. Folks, with me now is the coach manager of Collegians, Hussein Benjamin. Hussein, derby match, you guys must be very happy.
Yeah, we are, JP, we are.
What was going through the players' minds during the week?
Yeah, it wasn't easy. We didn't take it easy. It was actually, we were actually training hard and we actually deserve it.
Wat is die sterkpunte vandag? Want ek gekyk in die begin in die eerste game die Rangers ou se 'n bietjie gedomineer voor, maar toe swaai hulle die game heeltemal op sy kop.
Ja, ek dink ons het gesien dit gaan nie werk voor nie en toe dryf maar die game, toe speel ons maar agter, speel ons maar van die backline af vorentoe.
Ons het nou vir julle gewatch vroeër in die jaar ook en julle het nog al 'n attacking backline. As die ouens nou begin die bolstryd hardloop dan vind hulle nog al die gaps.
Ja, JP, ons het eintlik 'n baie goeie backline, maar ek dink hulle was 'n dag so verwag hulle gaan wees nie.
Ja.
Hulle kan eintlik baie beter speel as wat hulle vandag gedoen het, maar ons is eintlik bly vir wat hulle gedoen het en ons is baie bly vir die wen.
Hussein, great wen, tipiese derby match, well done.
Ja, baie dankie vir jou, JP.
That's it. Hussein Benjamin, a very happy coach, and that's exactly what he would be looking for. Funny how the coaches and managers, they kind of swap positions to give more TV time. Anyway, of course, the captain of Collegians, Fariz Khan, also very happy man. Folks, with me now is Fariz Khan, the captain of Collegians. He's looking a little bit quiet now, but he's a very happy man. Fariz, you must be excited.
Obviously, I am. Man, I think for the last couple of weeks we've been struggling, but at least today we came out and won. I think our platform, as we said, with the scrums, we put them under pressure, and with our liners, at least it came off today.
What was going? We were talking to Hussein earlier on. What was going through the guys' minds during the week? Because at this stage, I think you're not thinking about the league. You're not thinking about other tournaments. It's such a big derby match that the guys must be really fired up.
Yeah. Obviously, with these coloured clubs, obviously when they play against each other, there's always a big hype. So we had a good week of training and we were focused. Yeah.
Well, the White Blacks also do it. So a derby match like this, it goes back a long time, very community involved. Congratulations. And I think, it wasn't just about the rugby. Again, the community came out here today. Everybody's so positive. Everybody's happy. And again, just goes to show thousands of people here to support club rugby and everybody pulling together as a community. That's how it works, huh?
Exactly. Well, that's what we want. That's why we play the game.
Yeah.
We just want to stay together as a community and build on that.
Welcome back, folks. Yes, it is time now to take an ad break, but well done there to Collegians. You guys were deserved winners on the day, and that's exactly what we need in the world of club rugby. It's good, solid rugby. We'll take an ad break, and when we come back, we're also going to catch up with Nassif van der Schyff, a man who has contributed greatly towards community development and, of course, has been recently nominated for a Lead SA campaign. We'll be back after the break. It looks like we've been a little bit of catching me offside here as I'm having like a casual chat with Morgan Newman. Dr. Nassif van der Schyff has been putting in a lot of community effort at Collegians and, of course, in the Lentegeur community. Let's quickly catch up with him. Always nice to have a smiling face on the side of the field. With me is Dr. Nassif van der Schyff. Nassif is no stranger. How are you, man?
I'm very well, thanks, JP. It's great having you here, JP.
Yeah, no, it's always good. Nassif is no stranger to Western Province Club Rugby. He's been a delegate at Western Province for many years. Nassif, what do you make of the game?
It's a wonderful game, wonderful outing, great seeing two local communities coming together. Families, what you don't know is that these communities are close intertwined, lots of family bonds. So there's a few thousand people here, so all in all, it's a great afternoon.
Now we see you still running on the side of the field. You've got so many things going on, but I saw an injury. You ran straight on the field. You're a doctor, obviously. You've just been nominated for South Africa's Lead SA campaign. Quickly, in a couple of seconds, tell us what that was about, as being a community leader of the year.
It's just, my passion is a community. I'm a community man, and I'm just so honored to be able to do what I do, make a difference, in my small little way. So I think that was just somehow some small recognition for some of the work that I do.
Well, that's well done. Lead SA can be happy to have you. Well done, Asif.
Thanks, JP. Thanks, everything.
I think Collegians happy to have you.
Happy to be here.
There we go, folks. From Surrey State, Rangers against Collegian was a good win for Collegians today, and that's exactly what club rugby is about. Nice and positive, good, hard-running rugby. We're back with you after the break. Yeah, congratulations, Nassif. You have been doing a great job, and always nice to chat with you on the side of the field. Nice to see a smiley face. Okay, so Evox Advanced Nutrition is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. Of course, every week we give a player a prize. Last week we gave Evox Man of the Match a bucket of 5XL, which is, of course, one of the favourite proteins that the DHL Stormers and DHL Western Province Rugby teams use. Shabir Baradin, now we've had him on the show before because he was previous captain of Collegians, was this week's Evox Man of the Match. Right, folks, Surrey State, Collegians against Rangers. It's been a monster day, and as always with a derby like that, you come out with one or two top players. Today's Evox Advanced Nutrition Man of the Match is Shabir Baradin. He's no stranger to Cape Rugby TV. He's been on the channel a few times now. Shabir, congratulations. You are the Evox Advanced Nutrition Man of the Match. And to show their support for club rugby, you win a bucket of 5XL meal replacement. This is a muscle meal, although as we say every week, you've got enough muscle there, so hy's nog al 'n groot ou die, né? All right, Shabir, how did it go?
It went well. The preparation was tough. The week, guys was very focused. It's good to have a full set of forwards on training on a Tuesday. So yeah, everything went well.
There was like a bit of a shift, in the first half it looked like Rangers were dominating up front. They managed to push you off the ball a few times, but in the second half it was completely the other way around.
I think the guys know when to absorb pressure and when to take it up front. So I think well done to the guys.
Yeah. Well, listen, well done to you. You are the Evox Advanced Nutrition Man of the Match. Congratulations. Let's see your bucket again. Wins for himself a bucket of 5XL muscle meal, official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. Thanks. And we look forward to seeing much more out of you.
Thanks.
Congratulations, Shabir. You are the Evox Advanced Nutrition Man of the Match. Right, folks, if you want to win for yourself a bucket of, and let me show you quickly before we indicate the competition mechanics. Oh, geez, solid mass, a bucket of solid mass. This is 5 kilograms of protein and carbohydrates that helps you pack on the muscle, and you can end up looking like Shabir. And if you work really, really hard, you'll end up looking like Riaz Khan. And then if you stop using solid mass, you'll end up looking like Morgan Newman.
I knew that was coming. The boxer.
But Morgs, I mean, come on. You've got enough bulk, but you always try to cut down. I don't know if you think Clifton or Camps Bay is waiting in the middle of the winter.
Well, James, this can be deceiving, eh? So, I like to...
but you're a backline player. You're looking for speed, eh?
Yeah, but, it's summertime now, eh? If I'm going to be seen on the beaches, then I've got to look in shape.
Listen to this. Yeah, listen to this.
Some people don't age well.
Yeah. All right, folks. Evox Advanced Nutrition offers you the opportunity to win for yourself a bucket of solid mass. All you need to do is tell us who is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. Or just SMS the answer to 33280. 33280. That is the number that you're looking for. Congratulations to last week's winner. And that prize there goes to Brendan Pleichis. Well done, Brendan. You win for yourself a bucket of solid mass. It is on its way to you. Right, folks, let's take a look now at the results in Super League C. Also, more tightly contested games there. Van der Stel beating Paarl 22 points to 0. Manenberg Rangers 7-11 loss against Stelkor. Strand 15-46 loss to Franschhoek United. Silvertree 18-all against Noordlikes. Eerste Rivier going down to Silver Leaf 45-14. Strand United 1 point loss for them against Elsies. Elsies be very happy with that. And Violets 23-19 over Wraithby. Right, let's speak to the resident expert, Riaz. 23-19 win for you guys. Violets over Wraithby, good result. And what does it mean for you on the log?
Well, it secures third position, so we're in a playoff place. So now we just need to see what happens in Super League B and see who we play against in the playoff. I think the date has been set for the playoffs as well, the 24th of September. So all the playoffs between the teams ending 3rd and 13th will happen on that date.
Okay, so you're firmly in position 3. That's all you needed to win this game, eh?
Yeah, we can't be caught by anybody behind us. And we can't also catch the team currently second. Franschhoek had a brilliant win on Saturday, away at Castro. It's difficult to win in the Strand, very difficult. So we beat them with a bonus point, so we can't catch them anymore.
You can't catch them, eh? Yeah. All right, Rugby.
Rugby's done playing. We're playing our last game against Franschhoek. If we beat Franschhoek, then Rugby win the league. If Franschhoek beat us, then Franschhoek win the league.
Back to the maths. Back to the maths.
Exactly the same. It's funny that exactly the same scenario exists in Super League. Exactly the same. Violets are Hamiltons and Rugby. And
well, we're trying.
Yeah.
I always say the guy that drew that fixtures, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't actually. Faisal, before you totally took over the fixtures, it was
Tunkie Haynes.
Tunkie Haynes did it for what, like 20, 30 years, working out the fixtures?
40 years. I mean,
you know, drove him into an early grave.
Yeah.
Be careful. These fixtures will kill, you know. Yeah. All right. So no, but does it take a lot of time? I mean, how early in the year do you start working out the fixtures?
Look, at the end of that, all boils down to requests from clubs. You know, before we start drawing up, you need to take into consideration a lot of the clubs that, you know, when they can play, when they can't play, and that there. So we start drawing up the fixtures round about in January. And then basically we then go to the clubs and obviously, you know, get acceptance from the clubs and that.
Quick question: when we got to the end of the league stage of the Northern, the City, and the Southern leagues, we had to do a draw, just like we did in the beginning of the year. Will there be a draw for the Super League A, Bs, and Cs now in terms of any positions?
In terms of for next year, what would happen now is...
No, I mean for this tournament now, the President's Tournament or the bottom 8, 9 teams.
No. What will happen in the bottom teams? Team number 7 will play against team number 14. Team number 8 will play against team number 13.
Okay, so that's already been worked out.
Set, yeah.
Okay, so we know no more draws. We know who plays who at the end of this. Okay, all right. Let's quickly look at the results then in the Champions League in the top 9. These are, of course, the top 9 from the City, Southern, and Northern leagues. Cloutiersville going down to Young Stars, Young Wesley's losing to Blue Jets, Young Ideas going down to Lagunya, and then Caledonian Roses losing to Masiphumelele. In the City League, Perseverance going down to Hamadias, Temperance and Cities. Well, Temperance, they beat Progress. Bit of a derby match there, 25-11, so more bragging rights for Temperance and Cities. And then Khayelitsha beating Kylemore in the Northern League, 27 points to 0. So that was a bit of a derby, as I said, Temperance against Progress, and rumour has it that Temperance and Cities and Progress are now considering the merge. How much truth there is to that? Anybody know anything about that? Nothing and nothing. All right, we'll go to the ad break, and when we come back, we'll start taking a look at some of the other results in Club Rugby this past weekend. Back in a sec. Right, folks, just before let's quickly look there at the Paarl region, then the top 6 results. Young Standards going down to Vineyards. Allendale 24-20 over Violets Paarl. Lower Paarl beating Young Standards. Vineyards beating Paarl Rangers. And then Simonium going down to Young Gardens. In the Simonsburg region, Lamotte beating Excelsior. Lawandle beating Pumas. Constantia 28-8 over Brampton. Blue Stars 17-15 over Visantacral. And in the ladies, big win for Busy Bees ladies, 62-0 over UWC's ladies. And then Union Mill 34-0 over Blue Jets. All right, folks, let's just quickly talk about back to the President's Cup. This is, of course, the top 6 in Super League A, Super League B, and Super League C. We spoke about the playoffs also. The playoffs being, Riaz, what you were talking about is where the third team will play against team 13th in the team above. Faisal, where do they play the playoffs? These are, of course, now for the teams who are looking to be promoted or relegated in Super League A, B, and C. Yeah. Where do they play the playoffs?
Look, it'll be at a neutral venue, which will be played at City Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those playoffs, and over how many weeks are the playoffs?
It's just one. It's a once-off match.
Once-off match. That's it. Finished. Are they going to play in sequence, one team after the other?
Correct. So you'll have one after each other.
All right. So we're expecting 3 games, City Park on a playoff day.
You'll have 2 games. Yeah, 2 games taking place on the 24th. What happens is obviously Super League A and Super League B, and the teams ending at the bottom in Super League C, the 3 teams ending at the bottom will automatically be relegated to the
Oh, there's no
regions.
playoffs. There's
There's
only
no
playoffs
playoffs.
for Super League A and B and C.
That's
I mean
correct.
A and B.
A and B, yeah.
So only 2 games on the 24th of September.
That's correct.
Right, so folks, there you have it. On the 24th of September, you're going to have your league playoffs. All right, then in terms of the top 6, all right, this is, of course, the Super League A, B, and C top 6 that are now playing in the President's Cup, which is essentially 18 teams that continue to play. Where will they be playing?
They will be played at City Park as well, and we'll also be having some of the matches being played at Brookside and that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you've got a finals. The final. How does the finalists get determined? Are they? Is it the winners from each league, or is it? How do you get to be in the finals?
Yeah. The finals is obviously the finalists of the Super League A, Super League B, and the Super League C.
Okay, so you've got 2 teams in Super League A playing in a final.
Correct.
2 teams in Super League B playing in a final. 2 teams in Super League C playing in a final. And of course, this has absolutely nothing to do with the league. This is purely just for the title holder of the President's Cup in Super League A, the title holder for the President's Cup in Super League B and Super League C.
That's correct.
All right, so you've got 3 matches, 3 finals that will be played in the President's Cup.
That's correct.
All right. Now, where will those matches be played?
Those matches will all be played at Newlands on the 4th of October.
On the 4th of October?
Yes.
All 3 games in one day?
You'll have firstly the finals of the Under-20, the finalists of the Under-20 for the Super League A, and then obviously the finalists of the Super League C, Super League B, and the Super League A. All 4 matches will be played at Newlands.
All 4 matches, one day at Newlands.
Yeah.
Is this pre a Western Province game, or are there any provincial games on the day?
No, there's no provincial games on the day. But what will be happening is obviously, we'll create. Also, there will be a bit of hype and excitement as far as the test match that's taking place. Springboks against All Blacks. So all the matches will be played by 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it'll be a whole fun day, club rugby day, taking place at Newlands.
Is there a test match at Newlands on that day?
No, the
where is that test match? So on the what is the date then? The date. So the date for the the date for the finals is the
4th of October.
4th of October.
That's right.
So we've is that then our last game for the season?
There are finals that are still going to be held for the regional section as well. The top 8 regional sections, the City Zone, the Southern Zone, and the Northern Zone. They also have a final. Similar setup, 3 finals on the same day. Venue was supposed to be City Park. The date still to be determined.
Right, so we've still got quite a long way to go in terms of rugby activity in the year.
And excitement.
Cape Rugby TV is going to be busy still for quite a while before we hopefully get into some of the sevens rugby.
Correct.
So the 4th of October, that's the big day. The finals at Newlands, lots of hype and excitement around that. And like you said, the under-21s are going to be playing in the finals for Super League A.
Yeah.
And then the Super League A, B, and C finals also at the same time. Yeah. So a lot of excitement there. All right, so folks, we're going to take an ad break. When we come back, we'll start taking the logs, and we will try and work out what the big games are in terms of the fixtures this weekend. Welcome back, everybody. Nice to have you along, and nice also to have Matfin along, right? Matfin Financial Services, right, has just come on board with Cape Rugby TV, and we're looking forward to making sure that you know how to sort out your debt problems, all right? So you just go to www.matfin.co.za. We'll also still introduce you to the guys from Matfin here on the show, but nice to have them on board with Cape Rugby TV, and they certainly are able to help you solve your financial problems by consolidating debt and working through home loans and so on. I'm not a financial expert, so we'll get them on the show and they can explain it to you. All right, there are some monster matches over the weekend. Let's just quickly look at the logs now. In Super League A, we're in a situation there where UCT is firmly on top of the log there, followed by Stellenbosch and Hamiltons and Durbanville. All right, so those are your 4 top matches on 64, 61, 56 and 50. The key matches there are going to be decided, obviously in this case, to see who is going to win. Is Stellenbosch and Hamiltons is going to basically determine who's going to win this league, Super League A. Am I right about that, guys?
Yeah, Stellenbosch and Hamiltons will be the decider. If Stellenbosch win, they will win the league. If Stellenbosch lose and Hamiltons win, then UCT win the league. Yeah.
All right, so it's UCT sitting on the sidelines and hoping that Hammies beat Stellenbosch.
Yeah, that's the one.
Any chance of that, Morgs?
I'm quietly confident. Quietly confident that will happen.
Kijk hoe druk ek hom nou in 'n hoek in.
That pause says everything.
Did you see
yeah,
that
that
pause?
pause.
Yeah.
No.
No, well, look, I mean, so Hamilton's definitely going for the win.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There's definitely Hamilton's got to win, and yeah, I mean, Stellenbosch have a lot more to play for in terms of what's at stake. But Hamilton's always go for the win. We never go for second spot.
You know, I still don't actually, I said it last week, I don't actually know how Stellenbosch got to the top of the league. I kind of don't know of any games they played against teams over the weekend. They just kind of played a little bit in the beginning, then they went on a break for a long time, then they played a few more games, and they just put points on the board and just kind of added up, and now they're at the top of the league, and I don't even know who they played, where they played. Quite frankly, I don't even know who plays for Stellenbosch.
They're unbeaten.
In fact, I've actually forgotten what the Stellenbosch jersey looks like. You know, in fact, if we had a jersey on the show from Stellenbosch, but there again, they got so many sponsors, and you know, they really are looked after on that side of the world. They're a well-to-do team. Really, no requirements needed at Stellenbosch. All taken care of. Lots of players, lots of depth. Congratulations, Stellenbosch, on an enormous effort there. So, but feel free to bring us your jersey. We know we can put it up here with the other club rugby guys, and we can showcase your jersey, because I think there are people out there who also want to see what Marty's jersey looks like. So bring us your jersey. You know, we're happy to put it up on one of South Africa's biggest rugby shows. If not the biggest rugby magazine show. Please feel free to bring it to us. All right, folks, this is where the rubber hits the road now. Super League B. Quickly, the logs there. Solarian, St. George's, Villages, Union Mill. All right, so the big game here is clearly the fight-off in the log is going to be Solarians against St. George's. At least not St. George's. Yeah, I did it again now. So last week I was saying St. George's against Scottsdene, I think. But the big one over the week is going to make a deciding factor here as to who's going to win this, because the points are so close here. 56, 54, and 52. Solarians, St. George's, and Villages. Those are the top three. This weekend at Brookside, Villages take on Solarians. It has to be the pick of the week. This surely must be the crunch match, because out of all of the games, yes, there are permutations. Yes. But this is the one league that is a league decider.
Yeah, and permutations as well, because if Villages win, then St. George's have to play playoffs.
Right.
However, if they lose, then Solarians wins the league, and then Villages have to play playoffs. So the permutations there are numerous as well.
But if Villages win this game then against Solarians,
then Linden's guys, they have to play playoffs.
Yes, but if Villages beat Solarians, they win the league.
Yeah.
If Solarians win, they win the league.
Yeah.
So the big prize, which they play for, which is the trophies that Faisal Felton has to bring out the Brasso and polish every year. Faisal, the big prize is in this case, Super League B, has to be the pick of the week, Solarians and Villages.
Yeah. I think that's definitely the pick of the week. If you look at Villages, they're needing just 4 points. You know, that will basically secure it as far as points difference is concerned as well.
How much of a factor, considering that they I think they had a loss not so long ago and a very close game over the weekend. How much of a factor will it be for the Blues?
Well, they've got a plus 30 difference at the moment. It's almost plus 30, so plus 30. A win should suffice.
Yeah, a win should suffice. Yeah. That's it. But mentally, will they have it?
Well, they came back this weekend, even though it was hit-hit, so shall I say. Yeah, last minute win. So you don't know what their confidence is like at the moment, and Solarians is obviously playing for the league. So, you know, it's going to be a very tough game. It's actually going to be a brilliant game to go to.
Yep, that's our pick of the week, folks. We will be Villages against Solarians to watch what is going to be a monster match there. We haven't covered Solarians yet this year. So, in fact, we did. We watched Solarians against St. George's. But this time we're watching Solarians away from home on the other side of the fence, so to speak. Would you say it's the other side of the fence, Riaz?
Yeah, well, far on the other side of the sea, you could probably say as well. The other side of the bay.
Yeah, you're going to have to take a bit of a drive. In the Champions League, then the top 9, it's Young Stars, Masiphumelele and Blue Jets who are at the top of the pile there. And then in the City League, it's Temperance Cities Police, Hamadias. Northerns is Whistling Wheels, Kailich's All Saints. Southern League is Titans Retreat Peninsula. In the Paarl League, it's Lower Paarl Vineyards and Allendale. And then Paarl Region, it's Simondium, Young Gardens and Albions. While then in the Simonsburg, Pumas Forum for Santa Carla at the top. And in the Women's League, we see Union Mill, Blue Jets and Busy Bees. All right, folks, let's quickly look at those fixtures then over the weekend. Stellenbosch, Hammies, Helderberg, Tygerberg, False Bay, NNK, UWC and Primrose. Vixen, SK, Dermville, Belleville. And then in Super League B, Legions, Goodwood, Hamlets, Scottsdene, Villages, Solarians, Peniel Villages against Macassar, Hands and Arts, Union Mill, Brackenfell Rangers. As we said, the pick there has to be Villages against Silurians. In Super League C, Northerns against Manenberg Rangers, Franschhoek against Violets, Elsie's Van der Stel, Paarl, Strand United, Stelkor, Silverleaf, Silvertree take on Strand. In the City League, it's Tech against Busy Bees, Progress, Hamadias Police, Temperance, Watsonia and Perseverance. And then in the Northern League, it's Strand Pioneers against Kailicha, All Saints and Delft, Imikawe, Atlantis, Kylemore up against Whistling Wheels. In the Southern League, it's Thistle and Titans, Peninsula take on Young Brothers, Bishop Lavis take on Rocklands Retreat and Richmond Rangers. While in the Champions League top 9, Clittisville take on Blue Jets, Lagunya take on Blue Stars, Young Stars are up against Young Wesley's, and Masipumalele take on Young Ideas. And then finally in the Paarl region, it's Young Stars Allendale, Paarl Rangers, Violets, Lower Paarl Vineyards, Vintmill take on Simondia, and Riverstones take on Young Gardens. In the Simonsburg region, Visanta Kraal take on Pumas, Excelsior Fora, Brampton, Languedoc, Lawanle, Lamotte, and Kaimandi take on Blue Stars. And then of course don't forget the ladies, who are Marties, are up against Milnerton, Franschhoek take on Busy Bees, United Brothers and Peniel Villages and Blue Jets take on UWC. So there are still a couple of other action-packed games there that, as we say, the permutations could end up rolling on a little bit further. Faisal, just on a final note before I say goodbye to you, are we expecting lots of hype and anticipation and excitement for this President's Cup?
I think definitely there's a lot of hype and a lot of excitement in that there. The guys, I think, you know, it's something new, something exciting. It's something that the guys, I think it's long overdue in that there.
Yeah, it's still 6 weeks away, so still a bit of time.
Yeah.
It's the final game this weekend, am I right? In terms of the leagues, what do the guys do now? Still a few games left? Yeah. There's still a lot of teams that have to play catch-up games and the leagues that have to settle, eh?
Yeah, well, most of the games are finishing off this week. After this week, you know, the first round of matches will be completed, and then obviously the President's Cup will start.
All right, so for the teams that have still played, although if I look at the logs here, I think the Paarl region has still got 1 or 2 games to play.
Paarl region still got games. The City, Northern and Southern region still got matches that they're playing.
Yeah, a lot of the teams have only played 13 games, so they would play 1 this weekend and then still next weekend.
Champions League.
And then starts the Champions League as well. All right, so club rugby still continues?
Still going.
Yeah. All right, folks, that's a wrap from us. We trust you'll have a fantastic rugby weekend, and we will see you this weekend at Brookside as Villagers take on Silurians to see who will win Super League B. It's going to be a cracker of a match. Make sure that you get down there. Of course, there's a beautiful restaurant right next to Villagers, and the food is nah. Okay. Not sure if they can rival Rangers butter chicken, though. But of course, it's lekker daar. So, Morgan Newman, have yourself a fantastic rugby weekend. Good luck against Stellenbosch, and see if you can get one of those jerseys off the players to bring
I'll be trying my best. Thanks,
to our lowly Cape Rugby show.
Yeah, great. Thanks. Look forward to it.
Riaz Khan, thanks, my man. Have a good rugby weekend.
Thank you. You too. Everybody enjoy the rugby this weekend.
And you playing against Franschhoek?
Franschhoek, we're in Franschhoek, ja.
Is jy reg vir hulle?
Ons is reg vir hulle.
Jy's reg vir hulle, ja. And Faisal Felden, we'll catch up with you again soon because I think we're going to need even more information the closer we get to now the league playoffs, the Champions League and so forth. I think it's going to be very exciting.
Thanks, JP. It's good to be here.
Lekker, lekker. There you go, folks. It's Cape Rugby TV at its best, bringing you all the very best of club rugby. And next week, we're going to talk to you a little bit about tag rugby. Tag rugby has been rolling out at Western Province in the club rugby space. So tag rugby for the youth, a great way to introduce kids to rugby without any tackling. You just have to pull the tag off the guy's little kiddie's belt at the back of his pants there, and a lot of fun. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place, and this week, of course, at Brookside Villagers as they take on Silurians. Have a lekker rugby weekend. Bye-bye.